Can I say something about growing up in the 50s about this Holocaust thing? Or am I taking up too much time? Maybe
no, go ahead. I just don't know what you're going to say.
It's not anti-Semitic at all. Okay, so every Jewish kid in the 50s has the Encyclopedia Britannica in his room. Okay, and I had what was the 1953. I was born in 1950, and my dad bought the 1953 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. So there is a section on World War II by a famous Jewish historian at the time named Jacob Marcus. So my dad wanted me to read it, and other portions too. All right, and Jacob Marcus said that in the work camps, they weren't called concentration camps. They were called work camps to support the war effort. There were many political prisoners, Jehovah's Witnesses, and gypsies in there. The political prisoners were Jews because most of them were promoting the Communist Internationale. And he says because of the Allied bombings, many perished, probably 200,000. Jews mostly, but gypsies and Jehovah's Witnesses. We didn't hear this word 6 million. We never heard this word concentration camps. We never heard of extermination. I'm just telling you, growing up in the 50s, and anybody Jewish growing up in the 50s would affirm this. We didn't hear this. We didn't hear of gas chambers. And if we did hear of Zyklon B, it was a delousing agent. And what I've learned about Germans being in the business world for so long is that Germans they put people to work. They're very efficient people. They're not going to waste so much time and money killing somebody that can do work. And sometime in 1967, this whole Holocaust thing becomes a big thing. All right, so we watched the Ed Sullivan Show, 8 p.m. every Sunday night. It was a family ritual. My cousins were there, my brother, my sister, my dad. This was it. Ed Sullivan with the trapeze people and the ballets and the Jewish comedians and everything. So now Ed Sullivan, hey, we have a really big show tonight, and we have a Holocaust survivor. And we don't know what that is, a Holocaust survivor who is going to do a dramatization of what it was like to suffer in the Holocaust. All right, so it was
on the Ed Sullivan Show. This is considered entertainment.
Okay. Yes, it was LEC. It was. I remember this so vividly. I'm like 14 at the time, or 15. Now they have this makeshift cell, and there's a piece of bread in the corner. And Elie Wiesel, looking younger, is in agony, and he's holding his stomach, and he's hungry, and he's looking for the piece of bread, and there's a German shepherd. And my dad says, I'm not going to put up with this bull. The other word. He's a fraud. And my dad was that kind of person. He turns it off to another room, and we just turn it right back on. And we want to see this guy. And it turned out later that maybe 20 years later, someone caught him walking in an orchard, a big field in France, in a short-sleeved shirt. And he's expressing himself to his friends. There's no tattoo. He was never in Birkenau. Never. He's a liar, a fraud. And my dad called him out back in 1966.